and start off by just introducing ourselves. So I'm Miss Donnelly. I know a lot of you know me as the face of Class Dojo. I am the Title I teacher specialist at Riverside this year. So I am helping to organize and plan the targeted assistance program, which we're here to talk about this evening. A big part of my role is family engagement, which is why you see me constantly communicating with you on Class Dojo. And just a little bit about me. I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old myself. My 4-year-old is doing virtual pre-K. So I can empathize with some of the struggles that you guys are having at home trying to balance being a home teacher and also managing your own life. It can be very challenging. So we're going to try to work with you guys this year and try to come up with ways to make that a little bit easier. And just a little bit about my professional background. I taught at Magnolia Elementary as a 3rd grade teacher for 8 years. And then last year, I was the community school specialist at Halls Crossroads Elementary. So a lot of my background is in Title I schools, and it's something that I'm very passionate about.
All right, I'll go next. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kristen Bard, and I am the Title I literacy specialist at Riverside, new to the school this year. I have served in Harford County. This is my 15th year. The first 10 years of my career here, I spent in the classroom as a 1st grade teacher at Meadowvale, and then moved to Red Pump Elementary to work with 3rd graders and then with 5th grade, before jumping into a 4-year stint in the Office of Accountability in our Roberti building in Bel Air, where I served as the instructional data specialist and partnered with schools to analyze data and improve instruction in the classroom. So I am excited to be back in a school-based position, doing what my heart loves in reading and teaching reading. My family and I live in Harford County. I was born and raised here. I have a 6-year-old, a 1st grader who I'm also working with at home. So I am right there with you in the trenches, learning right alongside him about how this virtual learning works. And I have a 3, almost 4-year-old daughter who is in daycare during the day. So it helps give me a little time to focus on my work. But I am super excited to be with Riverside, and I had a chance to meet some of your students this week in small group reading, just to introduce myself and start to get to know them. So looking forward to working with you and your students.
Hello, families. My name is Marilyn Johnson. I'm the Title I math specialist here at Riverside, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here. This is my 24th year in education, and including a stint where I stayed home for 5 years for my children. I do have 2 children. They are, and I laugh calling them children. They're 22 and 18, and both in college right now. But they did both graduate from Edgewood High School. I've been here in Harford County about 10 years now, but I've also taught in New York, which is where I'm originally from. I've also taught in Virginia as well. And I've taught almost all grades. I've taught 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I was a lead math teacher as well as a mentor in the county for 4 years. I am looking forward to working with all of you, your families. I've been working with some of the 5th graders and 4th graders already, and I'm so excited to be diving into this world of math with you. Lauren, you're on mute.
Miss Sample, did you want to introduce yourself before we move on?
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be with you. I'm Tara Sample, I'm an excited assistant principal at Riverside Elementary. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but you've been seeing me pop in and out, maybe in your kids' classroom when they're in the LSC, or in some videos that we've been popping out. But this is I was just totaling it up, my 17th year in Harford County, and I think maybe my 19th year in total. Prior to coming to Riverside, I was the Title I teacher specialist at Magnolia Elementary. And prior to being in that position, I taught grades 3, 4, and 5. And just like you, I have a young man at home. He's 15 years old. And I'm also trying to navigate through that virtual instruction while trying to work from the school building. So it's good to be with you, and just know that we are here to help remove any of those barriers that you may be facing. And our focus really is on supporting and doing what's best for our boys and girls and their families. So it's just good to be here. I'm going to sit back and let the ladies take over the show tonight. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always reach me by email. So take care, everyone.
So I'm going to share my screen with you. We are going to give you some information about the Targeted Assistance Program this evening. I'm going to keep it as short and sweet as possible because I would like to pass the stage over to you guys in case you have any specific questions for us tonight that we can answer for you. All right, so this is just a quick overview about what does it mean to be a targeted assistance school. So the students in the program are going to receive lots of benefits from us becoming Title I this year. So we are going to use resources to help students in the program meet state standards. We are going to use effective means for assessment. We're going to closely monitor the students' progress in order to help them improve their academic achievement. Teachers that work with your students, classroom teachers or teacher specialists, will have additional planning time to ensure that we are planning engaging lessons for your children, whether that's in a virtual setting or back in the school building. All of the staff members teaching your children are highly qualified teachers. We are going to aim to increase family involvement this year. And there will also be lots of professional learning opportunities for staff that are working with your students. So while we're working to improve their academics, we will also be working to improve our own practice. As I mentioned before, a really big part of the Title I Targeted Assistance Program is parent engagement. So these are just some ways that you can get involved with your school and with your child's education. So we encourage parents to establish a good routine for your child, a good morning routine and a good after school routine to set them up for success. We encourage parents to support their child at school by overseeing their assignments at home. And we know that you are all doing that now with virtual instruction. And we want you to communicate with us as needed. So whether you're communicating with, Ms. Bard or Ms. Johnson or myself or the classroom teacher, we really do have an open door policy, and we want to hear your concerns and work with you to help you. We encourage you to build positive relationships with your child's teacher. We encourage parents to be part of the school decision-making process. You can do that by becoming a part of the PTA, but you'll have actually some opportunities this evening to help us make some school-based decisions as well. Volunteering, while we think of that as people coming in the building and we can't do that right now, we still encourage you to support the school, and there will be opportunities throughout the year to do that, even if it's virtually. Lastly, we just encourage you to collaborate with the school community by building strong partnerships with us and all the stakeholders or all of the people involved in your child's education. This was also shared on Class Dojo, and I'll share it again soon, but these are just all of the ways that we aim to successfully communicate with our families. We want to make sure that we're getting information out to you in various ways. New to our school this year is Class Dojo. I will proudly say that we have 98% of our targeted assistance families connected to Class Dojo already. So I'm sure that if you are here, you are probably already connected and receiving those updates from our school or from your child's teacher. And you can also use that for private messaging. So if you ever need any help with navigating that app, please let me know. If you are not connected to Blackboard Connect, we encourage you to do so. And there is a link at the bottom. When I post this on Dojo, these links are also clickable links. So I've posted it before, but I will post it again. But Blackboard Connect is just a way to receive automated emails or phone calls from Mr. Yanconi. You can also email or contact us by phone number. The email addresses are pretty consistently the first name dot last name at hcps.org. We have a school website, which the link is also posted here. We have a Facebook page, which is new. And if you haven't liked us on that, we encourage you to do that because we post a lot of information there as well. Lastly, we just want to make sure that everybody does have access to Home Access Center, often referred to as HAC. And that's just the way for you to see any academic data or grades that your child's classroom teacher has posted. So again, if you need any help with getting connected on any of these platforms, you can always reach out to me. And at the end of this presentation, my contact information is there.
All right, so as in regard, I'm sure a lot of questions are circling around how are we, the specialists, supporting both your child and your child's teacher. So one of the first things that we've established so far this year is a planning session with each of the grade levels. So we have dedicated time every week with the grade level teachers to plan rigorous lessons as well as small group lessons that are specific to the child's needs within that group. This may also involve co-teaching, which looks a little different virtually. Usually when you're co-teaching, you would see two teachers at the front of the room bouncing back and forth, teaching together. But in a virtual world, it kind of does look similar. We do plan the lessons together. We may videotape the lessons that are together and post them on the playlist, or we may be in the meetings together with your child's teacher teaching as well. The second block you see in the middle is providing small group instruction, and that's what will begin officially next week. I know Ms. Johnson and myself have been in this week with some of the kiddos, just getting to know them and meet them. But that small group instruction is going to occur twice a week at 20-minute increments. It could occur more based on the needs, but it will definitely be occurring. I'm so sorry. My dog is trapped in the basement and having a fit, so my apologies. 20 minutes twice a week for sure. And during that small group instruction, it will be the identified students with either myself, Miss Donnelly, or Miss Johnson engaging in mathematical practice as well as literacy skills to develop themselves as mathematicians and readers. We'll be providing professional learning opportunities for teachers, and those are typically happening on those Friday asynchronous days when your children are home doing other activities as assigned in the playlist. We are working with the teachers to enhance their craft and their skills in each of the areas. We also aid in the development of the playlist and those asynchronous activities I just mentioned. And obviously the most important piece is that we are here to provide support to you as needed. So I know Ms. Donnelly just mentioned, please don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask questions. We are here for you.
So looking at our small groups, and we just want to dig in a little bit about how are we going to be accessing the small groups, how the students will, I guess, come to us, so to speak, in the virtual sense. You want to look out for a private message from Mrs. Donnelly within the next few days for a time and the dates of your child's specific small groups. As Mrs. Bard mentioned, it is twice a week for all students. So it may be a Monday, Wednesday schedule. It may be a Tuesday and Thursday schedule. Also, let me assure you that the students are always in their classrooms for the main lesson, and they're not pulled out into small groups until the small group time in the classroom. So their small group will just be somewhere else. First grade is going to they're going to click on the blue Targeted Assistance Program tile on the It's Learning Overview page, and this link will be at the top. And now as for third, fourth, and fifth grades, the team link will be in the playlist and in the announcements on the overview page. So it'll be in several places so that it's just easily accessible from everyone. Bear in mind, because we know that you are receiving a lot of different instructions in this new virtual environment, Ms. Donnelly is going to also create and send out a video tutorial showing you how you and your child can access the course, the small group meeting. So you don't have to worry about, writing down what I said. You will get it in video format. And so that'll just make it easier for everyone and one less thing to remember. So, we are looking forward to starting next week with the small groups. Again, they do start next week. I know we have a shortened week. So obviously those who meet on Mondays will start on Wednesday this week.
Miss Donnelly, if you're talking, I think you're still muted.
Thank you, Miss Bard. I was talking. So let me start over. I fix this. There we go. All right. So I want to touch on our family engagement plan, and what we would like to do this year is we want to have some events for families in the targeted assistance program that are very meaningful to you. So one survey that we have sent out was a survey about what you need to help your child be successful with virtual learning. So there were a lot of choices, and if you look at this bar graph, this is kind of how the results come to me on my end. So the biggest need, so we'll definitely be doing a parent workshop on this, is just keeping up that momentum. When you're doing that work on your computer from home, our kids are getting tired or exhausted or they want to stop. So we want to come up with ways to really keep them motivated and keep up their momentum when they are working from home. So we will work on that with you this year. The next two, and this one kind of goes hand in hand, was that motivation piece, which goes hand in hand with keeping up the momentum. But then after that, it looks like a lot of our families were interested in math games and mental math strategies, followed by finding just right books and maintaining social and emotional health during a pandemic, which can be hard for our children when they want to socialize and want to interact. So we really want to help our families with this. At the end, Ms. Johnson is going to drop the link to this survey in the chat box. So if you didn't get a chance, it's a 1-question survey. If you didn't get the chance to complete it, we encourage you to do so. The more feedback we get on things like this, and the more meaningful our program will be. And then there was just one more survey that I wanted to show you. So the last question was specifically about our needs virtually. And these are just our needs as parents otherwise. So you can see that parents, and we really did have a great feedback on this survey. We had around 45 families complete this survey. But it looks like our families really want a lot of information about our reading and math curriculum. So we will be providing that this year. And then again, right behind that was a social and emotional wellness. So we do see some trends with really wanting more information about our curriculum and how to access it virtually and the social and emotional needs of our children. So thank you for your feedback on these surveys. And again, the link will be in the chat box at the end if you haven't had a chance to share your voice. Something else I'd like to share with you tonight is our school family compact. So this will be a new document for Riverside. This is a document that comes along with being a Title I school. And it is very important because it shows the responsibilities of our students, of the staff members, and of the parents and their family members on contributing to the academic success of the children that we all serve. So again, this isn't just a draft. It's not going to be finalized until I get some feedback from parents. So you are going to be my first parents tonight to see this, and I really do want your honest feedback. So it's 3 columns. And as I'm sharing it with you, I want you to think about these 3 things. Is it easy to read and understand? We want it to be in parent-friendly language. So if there's anything that you find confusing, I would love for you to share that with me, because we want to make sure it's easy for our parents to understand. We want to make sure that you agree with everything that's listed. And if there's anything that you would add or change, we would like for you to share that as well. So I'm going to pull up that document. And bear with me because it is a little wordy, but we're going to go through it quickly. So it is in the format of a brochure. So when we are back in a brick and mortar setting, we will be passing this out to parents to have a paper copy in the form of a brochure. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And this side is just kind of the overview of what it is, along with links to all of our sites that I was telling you about earlier. So we're going to focus on the next page, and I'm going to start with students. So these, let me zoom in a little bit more. Oh, why I can't, let me see if I do this. Sorry, bear with me for 1 minute. Okay, so these are just the student expectations. What are the students responsible for in order to raise their academic achievement? So we just want our students to be RES kids, and we know that that's a friendly wording. They're used to hearing it. We want them to be respectful, engaged, and safe. We want them to put forth their best effort daily. We want them to be willing to ask for help from their teacher or from a family member at home when they're struggling. We want our students to participate actively in classroom activities and discussions. We know this one would really only apply to when we're back in the school building, but copying homework into their planner. We want our students to establish a daily schoolwork routine, hold themselves accountable for their actions, know their strengths and needs, and ask for help when needed. Return any work or assignments to their teacher, encourage their families to attend school events, take pride in their work, and set goals and believe in their ability to achieve them. So if you could, in the chat box, just write any feedback that you might have. And if you have no feedback, that's okay. But if you could still just write no feedback, that way I can acknowledge that I did share this document with you and you had an opportunity to provide feedback. All right. Next, we're going to go over the family expectations. So these are parents or guardians, anyone working with your child at home, especially when they're learning from home. So we encourage the family to help their child set up a routine for schoolwork, encourage independence, but help them when it's necessary, ensure that their child get a good night's sleep, value the school and limit the instructional time missed due to absences, attend and participate in discussions at conferences, update your contact information if changes are made, check your child's planner, again, when we're back in that brick and mortar setting, check Home Access Center regularly so that you can monitor your child's growth, attend family engagement events, which you're doing right now, and of course, reach out to me with any other suggestions as to how we can work better with you as equal partners in your child's success. So if you have any feedback for us for the parent and family responsibilities, please jot a note in the chat. And again, if you have no feedback, just write no feedback. And then the last column is the school. So the school staff members, what is our responsibility? So our responsibility to ensure that your children achieve is to provide high quality professional learning opportunities to our staff, foster a supportive and effective learning environment, offer and conduct parent conferences as needed, make information accessible to everybody, including in multiple languages and formats. We want to be available to you through a variety of platforms such as the phone, email, Dojo. We want to welcome family involvement in classrooms. We want to provide opportunities and workshops at flexible and convenient times. And we want to involve families in decisions regarding the spending of parent involvement funds. So again, if you have any feedback, please go ahead and drop it in the chat, and you can write no feedback if you don't have feedback at this time. So thank you for giving me your time. Let me see if I can get back to, there we go, what's going on? There we go. Okay. All right. So now is your chance. If you have any questions for us, we want to make sure that you are comfortable with this program, and we want to make sure that we're meeting your needs and the needs of your family. So if you have any questions for us, I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen, and you can feel free to write them in the chat, or you can feel free to unmute your mic and share your questions out loud. No questions? Does that mean, must have mean we did a really good job explaining ourselves. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, then we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. But we do have to do one thing before you leave. I'm going to share my screen with you one more time. Bear with me.
We do have a question, Lauren.
Oh, go ahead.
Gavin's mom, I would like to teach my son virtual. What can I do?
So I believe there will be going out, a survey going out to all families very soon about that, Ms. Konski.
Thank you for that. I'm not sure if you can hear me now.
Yes, hi, how are you? Oh, it's nice to see someone else.
Hello.
Yeah, so I do believe that will be an option, but a survey will be sent home from the school to find out what is the parent's intent. And that should be coming soon.
Thank goodness, because my husband is also in the school system, and it's hard enough dealing with him going back and forth to work. So
I'm sure. I know a lot of people have worries about it. We understand.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So real quick before we leave, we just ask that you complete a short evaluation for us. I'm going to share my screen with you and pull that up. I just want you to be able to, if you want to take a picture or just jot down our email addresses, they are right here. I know that we all respond very quickly this way. So if you need anything from us, you can email me any day of the week or time of the day. And then Miss Johnson, she's going to drop 2 things in the chat for you. She's going to drop that survey if you didn't get a chance to complete it and you want your input to be a part of our data, then please go ahead and complete that survey. She's also going to drop an evaluation. That is a Title I requirement. So that's just going to ask you a couple questions about the presentation tonight and how we can best serve your child and your family. So that one is essential. So if you could please complete that before you leave.